We're sitting at Synergy with Rian Zietsman, the bass guitar player of Beast, and the guitarist of Taxi Violence. And it's Saturday afternoon, it's scorching hot. And last night you guys played a killer set, and if I must say so myself, I think it was a much cooler set that you guys played at Daisy's. Did you guys experience it the same way?
Yeah, personally I did, absolutely. You know, like when you're playing live, it's all about what you hear, and unfortunately at Daisy's we had trouble with the sound, whereas last night we could hear each other properly, and that makes a massive difference to your performance and how you perceive everything. And I mean, even though, you know, we could have played the same notes, all of us, but last night was just the vibe, you know?
And how did the crowd respond to your gig? How did it normally respond? I mean, you guys are quite fresh on the circuit and you got two bass guitars. It's very unconventional.
It is, like, you know, we actually haven't played that many shows, to be honest. Like, we've been lucky in that festivals have been approaching us to do kind of like main slots, you know, and so who are we to say no to that, you know? But so reception wise, we're like, we don't actually know what to expect people to expect almost. But last night there's one song where there's a long stretch where I just don't play anything. I stood there and I like watched the crowd, and people seem to be mesmerized. So, you know, and within like, it's hard not to be mesmerized.
I remember when we did an interview with Inga Beckman on the Rolling Stone The Story.
Yeah.
And when she talked about Beast, she said that when you guys first started off rehearsing and just toying around with the idea, that it felt like she was like cheating on a boyfriend, you know. And how's your experience been from Taxi Violence?
On boyfriends yet? No, she's talking absolutely the truth. It's a matter of experiencing things with other people, you know, that as opposed to what you're used to usually. Like anything goes in our jam room, you know. Like we encourage to go like out there, you know. Like for a start, I'm playing bass and not guitar, so that's a departure from what I usually do. Louis usually plays drums. He's now playing bass. He told me that it was quite an adjustment for him to be out front on the stage, whereas like with Taxi we played massive shows but he's in a different position on stage, you know, and so it was an adjustment for him, but it's an exciting adjustment. It's something that you sort of revel in, that uncertainty almost. Like none of our songs have like set endings, none of them. Like we just jam until they're finished.
and this is something that's triggering a lot of people, and it's quite the thing. People want to know, what is the appeal? Why did you guys decide on two bass guitars?
If you want complete honesty, I'm going to give it to you. Louis and I both wanted to play bass, like just not in bands necessarily, just to try it out, you know. And then one night we got high and weed only, and drunk, and then I thought to myself, and I actually had been toying with the idea. I've been wondering, like, why does nobody have two bass guitars? Why is that not done? And if there's a reason for it, then I want to know what that reason is, so then I'd rather try it out and then decide, okay, cool, let's not do it, you know. So I made the suggestion, and then him and I both bought bass guitars, and we in our old house had this basement, like big amp set up and shit, and like we just like started jamming, and like after you tweak a few things, like his guitar is quite trebly, or your bass, mine is very deep, and then, you know, you own your sound, and suddenly, you know, coming from just a rumbling noise, suddenly you start hearing stuff, and like it evolved in that way, really.
You guys are currently in studio, or have you finished your album?
Finished.
Finished?
In a weekend.
In one weekend?
Yeah, we recorded 9 songs in a weekend, and the reason we could do that is because we recorded live. All live.
No click track?
No click track whatsoever. 4 musicians in a massive room, and jamming the songs. So we did like 2 or 3 takes of each song. Like then you can easily do it in a weekend. Fuzzy Radcliffe, that guy he's the bass king. So like where else would you go if you have 2 bass guitars? You gotta get that guy.
Coming back to the bass guitars, was there maybe any influence from Spinal Tap, the song's bottom end?
Big bottom. Love that movie. There wasn't influence as such, I would say, but like after we had done this, all of us, I think, kind of realized that there was a connection there, and like, so they had 5, I think, bass players then. We just got the 2, but still, you know, we aspire to more.
When do you guys plan to drop the album?
You know, that's actually quite a tricky one, in that these days there are so many different ways and you can do it, and different mechanics, and you know, so we're looking to find the way that is going to reach the most people. And so for the moment we're actually thinking of sort of slow releasing it online, but free, you know, because we like, and it's not conceited, but we got like a lot of interest from record companies and stuff, but at the end of the day, like, what they do for us is distribution and licensing, and I don't think our music will necessarily play in advertisements, so there's the licensing thing going, and then, you know, if you're going to release it online, then there's no real point in distribution either. So it's something that we're still like discussing amongst ourselves.
Tell me, Rian, it was reported that Inga's going to play alongside Orlando Bloom in a feature film. Do you think this will mean anything for your band?
Yeah, I do think so. I mean, that's obviously a lucky break for us, nothing to do with anything we've done. But apparently he's pumping it in his car all the time, so that's cool.
And
I'll take that.
And if that film goes big and your name gets out there, would you guys maybe think about doing some tours overseas?
Absolutely. We've already actually there's a tentative sort of May date where Inga is going over there. I don't know if it's in support of a movie or what, but she wants to go check it out, and I also want to go check it out.
Thanks, Rian, for talking to Rolling Stone, and we look forward to that album. Do you have a title yet?
No, we don't. We're playing around with the most obscure stuff that you can imagine.